It's Jordan.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode for your chance to win this Detroit Pistons basketball pack.
What's going on, world? Brand new episode of Royal Key there on your screen. I'm your host, George Kill, and I'm here with my man, Kong of the Detroit Pistons. Kong, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Oh, everything is great, man. Long time no see, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have just totally changed your facility. And I know you had a say-so in a lot of the things, especially your equipment room.
Yeah.
With these space savers. Tell me about what you did here.
So with the space savers, every aisle, you always has something in it. So we have one that has t-shirts, we have one that has sweats, one that has socks, stuff like that. So instead of putting like Sharpie labels or signs, stuff like that, I wanted to put players in each section. You know, Chauncey, is one of my guys. I had him twice as a player. First section we go in every day. So this will be like our tights, socks, all stuff like that. Ben Wallace, another guy that's changed my life in a few ways. One big thing I remember was he saw that I had a broken down laptop, and all of a sudden, like on Christmas, he just hands me a laptop and just kind of nonchalantly just walks away. Like, here, this is for our business, whatever, and just walks away. I'm like, sitting there staring. Like that time, like I'm not making no money. I'm an hourly employee. Like that was the best thing ever. And he just did that on his own. It's unbelievable. I'll never forget that. We got, Joe Dumars, obviously, boss man, guy who hired me. These are another two sections too, where it's easy accessible. These are like the arm sleeves, some uniforms are in there and all that.
And it's fitting for, with Ben Wallace wearing the, wristbands.
Yep, exactly, yeah, right? One of my heroes growing up was Dennis Rodman. Between him and the Bad Boys, the culture that they push in the city, the grind, how I was able to play basketball, like we touched on a little bit earlier, is like some of these guys, like you said, with Michael Jordan are unattainable, right? This guy just made me feel like I could be a part of a team.
Now, so, Isaiah.
Obviously, I mean, what can I say beyond a 30 for 30 for all half these guys, right? Another guy, one of my favorite guys, Rip, with us for a long time. Not really probably spoke about as enough as it should, is he has most of our playoff records, scoring records and all that. Same thing with Vinnie Johnson. Then Corliss, another one of my favorite guys. Then of course, like Bob Lanier, it's a legend of the city. And Sheed, that was so many good stories about Sheeds. In his eyes, and a lot of other people too, but he was always debatable, but he was the best athlete no matter what sport he was playing, wherever he walked in on. So you're playing ping pong, he's the best. I had him on my softball team.
Yeah.
He was really good too. And it was funny, he was the same way he was on the court, he was on the softball field. Bill Lambier, had some interactions with him too when he was with Shock. This is one that throws everybody off. Boban, one of my favorite guys, one of the best humans you'll ever meet. He's really a good person. Grant Hill is another classic. And that's one of the things I love. Like there's debates about the teal uniform, Dave Bing. So this is kind of cool. So he's always around. Mayor of the city for a while. Man, he's great to be around. And this is another one of my guys. He is the best. So he has not changed whatsoever. And then last but not least, obviously, Tayshaun. So Tayshaun was with me for like the longest time. We started in 02, 03. Everybody knew back then that he's going to be in the front office. Really one of the smartest guys you'll ever meet. Very astute.
Right. Now let's kind of go to this area over here. I think you have this set up kind of like it's Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah. This is our work area. So it's a work in progress. We have presses, our shoe stretchers, all of our tools, our vinyl, everything we need to make them not worry about anything except basketball in the game. That's the goal.
Now, let's make our way into your office, which is pretty unique. You being a UFC guy, but also the equipment guy for Detroit. Yeah. I want you to pick out 5 of the coolest things in your opinion in this office.
Blake's All-Star jersey, and I have Dre's All-Star jersey. I think that's kind of fun. It's one of the few things I started thinking about is, you know what? This is, if I'm going to do something, I'll get those. Well, this is kind of cool too, but just throw us in there. Dre's original #1 jersey before it changed. This is a great one though. So Max Seal's shoes. Probably when I first started MMA training and all that, the guy that would rag on me the most was Max. So this is his message to me. Don't get beat. My big thing was I was about 29, 30. A lot of things happened in my life. I wasn't full-time here yet, struggling with a lot of stuff. So I was looking for something to do, something to identify with. And I was actually thinking, I liked wrestling. I was thinking about doing wrestling school. And I found out how expensive that stuff is. For like weekends, it's like $4,000 for training in some guy's barn. And then I started gravitating towards MMA. And I always loved jiu-jitsu. I always loved the wrestling stuff. I always liked that kind of stuff. Jonas Jerebko knew a Swedish guy that was training. His name was Harley Wallen. Kind of hooked me up with the thing, and I started training. I started like falling in love with the training. I was like, this is great. And kind of find that family I needed at that time to kind of get through stuff. Then I just fell in love with MMA. It was just unbelievable. The training's so addictive.
This would be a fun question for you. You can answer this, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Who is the best fighter on the team?
Ooh, Keith Morris, because I think he knows how.
So now let's go back to the list. We have about 3 more things.
Well, those wristbands I told you about.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It doesn't have the NFZ on it, but this was one of his that he wore, that Ben wore. Oh man, you know, I take it back, Rashid might have worn them too. So it's kind of cool. It always brings me back to that. This isn't one of my favorite things, but it's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure this is Allen Iverson's. Yeah, right. That's why I kind of like it, because everyone kind of remembers like it's like towards the end of his career or stuff like that. And nothing really went the way we wanted to go that year, but it was still iconic to have him here. Stance made these for us for when Ben Wallace got retired. So I was able to get 1 pair for myself. They only made, I think it was like 36 pairs or something like that.
Now, one thing, Kong, you mentioned to me off camera before we came, you have a very distinct way of traveling, and it has a lot to do with shoes.
Yeah.
Explain these bags that we've been talking about for, I don't know, the past year probably.
Now we're in the players' locker room at PPC. This is kind of a really kind of unique space too, because we have natural light that comes in. So even when all the lights are off, it's still nice in here. And that was one of the biggest things they were trying to accomplish. Really cool lockers too that they designed. It's kind of like when we're closed for business, the lockers are shut. It's a clean look. And then when the guys are here, you can open them up. And that way, if we get the young rookies that are still working on keeping clean, we just gotta shut the doors. You know? So
now tell me about the bag here.
Okay, so strength coach, Lewis Thompson, a sneakerhead too. You know, I'm following some stuff online, how to travel, and I'm always looking at new things, new bags, new stuff I can do. So with that said, I was traveling with 2 shoe bags like I always did. I had a guy, Stanley Johnson, love him to death. He's one of my favorite guys too. He would like bring 5 shoes for a 1-night trip. I'm like, what are we doing here? So I made these shoe bags to help solve that problem, is because I was going on 2-game, 3-game trips. We're changing jerseys all the time, because that's the other thing that changed too, is home team decides. There's no longer home and away. It's like we could wear 5 different jerseys, 4 different jerseys on one trip. I came up with this when I saw this shoe bag that Lou had. I was like thinking, man, this would be kind of cool if I just gave one of these to each player. And then we could put in all the shoes they'd ever need. I won't be a backup, so they could have 4 shoes to pick from every night. We got in contact with a company called Private Label, and that's who made the bag. They jumped right on board, thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, this is a great idea. This is one I use every day for my game day trips. So it's got all my toiletries and it's got my shoes. Those are my work shoes. And then they made it into this here. So this is Derrick Rose's bag. So this has, I think there's 12 pairs of shoes in there right now. So now when we go to a game or a practice or anything like that, I just set the shoe bag in front of the chair. They can pick whatever they want, however they're feeling that day. All their stuff's in there. The other thing I love about this too is that I'm treating every athlete the same. Everybody's getting this like star preferential treatment.
Now, is there one player on the team that even this might not be enough?
Langston Galloway, he's got so many shoes, but he's very planned out with the ones he wears for games and stuff like that. But if he could, he would travel a truckload everywhere he goes. It's awesome. So let's go into his. So this is a shoe standard. That's kind of what he's practicing. So these are Rugrats shoes. These are unbelievable. For breast cancer awareness, he did a couple of different variations of pink shoes. This was the pink Power Ranger. So the detail on it too is cool, but just being able to do something like this, whereas when there was the shoe rules, he'd be this every night, right? Now we can do the cool stuff like this to express yourself and draw attention to certain things like breast cancer awareness. So we got Blake's here. So this is Jordan for the year. This is pretty cool. Dre is in a transitional year right now. So he's wearing just straight up Nikes now. He ended up loving this shoe.
And what size is Dre?
He's size 18. He actually measures out, I think when they measured him to a 19, his foot moves so much. In the barbershop, one of the coolest parts of the facility, the little things of getting a haircut in the facility saves you so much time when you put all this time in, all this grind in, especially for players. And I'm lucky being staff, being able to be a part of being let in here.
Now, Mario, I'm sure you get Kong right all the time. I want to see if you can make my beard look like Kong's. Kong has the best beard in the facility. I want to see what you can do there. Now, Kong, kind of explain the photography in here.
You pretty much can't get more iconic than what's on the wall right now. Tommy Hearns. The cool part about him is I used to see him at every single game at the Palace. He was at almost all the games. It was awesome. And let alone his boxing, right? Oh my God, it was one of the best ever. Now, Aretha Franklin, right? I'm young too, so I'm just double checking. Just kidding. And then obviously you got Lambeer and Rick, the bad boys that carved this team into what it was.
Now, this is a question for both of you guys. Who on the team, the current team right now, is in this chair too much?
Chris Wood. Yeah, Wood's been in here a lot lately. He just makes his head every day. Hey, time to get your all right.
So he has to be here all the time.
Signed you up last week, man. Yes, I would say Wood.
Who considered to be here a little more?
Luke Kennard. Now we're in the player lounge area. Right now they're getting ready for lunch, making smoothies for afterwards, full out food service, like gourmet food. Like this is just like, hey, let's make some sandwiches and stuff like that, or some chicken or pasta. This is like next level nutrition. Now we're going through the training right here. It's one of the best premier spots in the league here. It's kind of cool. They got this saltwater tank, all the heat in the sauna, and then a freezing cold chamber. It's like you got every element in the world right now going on in like one little space. The cool part about how they designed this building, I think the best part is the flow. And then we got all of our retired players and all of our banners up, just so we see that every day, this history and the championships. Just reminding them like what we're going for. We're trying to get another banner up there every year. That's the goal. Everything we read on the wall is what we're trying to do every day. This is the main entrance to the PPC. This area is actually gonna be open to the public. We'll have a plum market here, which is gonna be food, sandwiches, groceries, anything you need. Great for the public in the area. We're really rejuvenating the neighborhood around us. And it's also helpful for us. We have 200 to 300 employees in this building that can just, on the way home, just stop here and grab something for home that you need, so it saves you time. I mean, like this whole building is just designed to help everybody and, you know, save time, help them work, and help their lives. You can see the artwork on the floor, every player that's been on the team on the floor there, which is really cool.
Well, Kong, I appreciate you letting us check out your domain, man. It's utterly ridiculous.
No, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I got lucky. And for a special Pistons fan, I'm gonna put together an apparel package.
And to find out how to win that package, follow Korsky Media and George Kill 3 on Instagram. Until next time, your host, George Kill.